Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Idea. We're going to do a picture this wrap up. This is a honey compendium. It's about Bruno the bear, and he is the beekeeper. And it's very, very detailed. It's really, really lovely. They go through everything about the bees themselves, and then they talk about the hives and the health of the hive and how to keep it healthy, and then go directly into the honey making process as well. It's very honey colored in its drawings, and even the little guy that is like the smoke to get the honey has a little face and everything. It was a real joy to read. I really enjoyed it. This is the Honeybee, and this has a very unique art style. It also is very honey colored, and it has some beautiful, beautiful illustrations that are watercolor and pen and ink, and it just really made me fall in love with all of the little bees and their antics and their home life. And so whereas the other one is about honey, this one is just strictly about the bees themselves. Then we're going to go into this book called Maybe. It's been written by Kobi Yamada, and it's an absolutely beautiful story. It goes into why we exist in this world and how we are unique. And maybe, just maybe, we have something that we can do that nobody else can do, but we have to try lots of things in order to find out what it is that we can do. There's a little pig that accompanies her throughout this book on all of her little adventures, and he is very sweet. I have never seen this art style in any of Kobi's books before. It's very colorful, and most of Kobi's books, the illustrators that he chooses are very pared down, and this one is still pared back quite a bit, but you have pages that have completely full color, and every single page has some color on it. Here's some more of Kobi's books. I really love him. He is actually a local author. And see what I mean, though, about the fact that these books are not as full color as Maybe was. These are a couple of the different illustrators that he uses. Then we have two books that are by Corinna Luyken, and she has a similar art style in this one anyway to like Honeybee, except for hers are much softer than Honeybee's was. This one is just about recognizing all of the things inside of us that are beautiful and growing and changing, and also the things that are inside of us that help those processes to happen. It was a really, really lovely book. I didn't like this one quite as much as the next one that I'm going to show you, but I still found it to be something very endearing and very easy to read. My 3-year-old didn't love this one as much as the next one either, but it still was gorgeous art style, beautiful story overall, and I enjoyed it. Here we go. This is my heart. And it goes from the picture of, so this one, I'm sorry, this one does have only 3 colors in it. So this is similar to an art style that Kobi Yamada would actually have in some of his books. So very, very pared back as far as the drawings go. Every single page, because this is called My Heart, has a heart. In some way, she has made sure to include hearts on every single illustration. And so you'll find them throughout, but you have to kind of look for them. but it's all about hearts being open and hearts having emotion. Here even the clouds are in heart shapes. It was just really fun to find those with my grandson, as well as just him kind of noticing things a little bit more because of the fact that the colors are so pared back. So he was able to find things much easier. And this just goes through that sometimes even when our hearts are growing and changing and becoming, they can still have moments when they're completely closed off or guarded, and then we find ways to allow them to find comfort and find a way to be put back together and to be opened again. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And even if the kids don't get the message like right away, I know that they would still really love the story overall, because it was just fascinating. I just love it. She does such a beautiful job illustrating and telling a story. Okay, so this one I actually picked up because of the illustrator. The illustrator here is Lauren, and she usually illustrates books with her sister. Her sister is the author and she's the illustrator, but both of the books that I was able to get out from my library were only illustrated by her and not told by her sister. For some reason, I couldn't get the ones that were the two of them together. But her watercolors are so magical, and she often repeats images in her books. So you'll see them in a bigger picture in a small way, and then she'll enlarge them. Another thing that I really love about her characters is just how she elongates things. It makes them feel very kind of old-fashioned, almost medieval in some ways. Here's another thing she really likes to do. She does cutaways of like houses or hotels or that kind of thing, and then shows you each room inside and how it's alike and how it's different, and people inside them and what they're doing. Here she did a cutaway of the earth itself. It's a really fun book, but I mainly got it just to show you Lauren's illustrations. So this one is about the Nutcracker. It's actually about the theater in general and just about all of the things that go on in the theaters, but very similar colors still, very similar figures. This one feels like it was an earlier version of what she does now. Here's another cutaway, and then she's got the whole orchestra down there in the pit, and then we have like the audience and the stage and just different things. It's just a beautiful overall. This one I got because it has several different illustrators in it, and all of them are talking about how Beatrix Potter has influenced them. But then their own art style is so completely different from Beatrix Potter. So each page has a illustrator, and then it shows you the way that they would illustrate the story if they were doing it. So this is Jeremy Fisher. That one made me laugh. Instead of a lily pad, he's got a flying carpet in that one, or a flying lily pad. Okay, and then here's Jemima Puddle Duck. So you're going to see, there's Beatrix illustrations. And then we're going to see these different ones who have illustrated Jemima Puddle Duck and the Fox. I thought this one was very similar to, it has a little more darkness to it than what Beatrix would have used. And this one has a little firmer ink line to it, but both of those were very similar to Beatrix. Okay, then we're on to the Tale of Mr. Todd. And here's Beatrix's illustrations, and here, this is one of my favorites. I just loved it. It's very whimsical, very similar. Bunny slippers. And then this one, you can just see the slyness of him, but I love like the little nod to the duck wallpaper in the back. And then this one was the cover artist, and I love the way that she just put everything together. It was just beautiful. So that was the end of my picture books, and I hope you enjoyed this.